Coming up next, I'm giving y'all this prison story about an inmate named Alabama Blue, who was tougher than anybody I've ever come across in my life. Stay tuned to the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show.
It's JS Corner from the prison story massacres. I be telling stories about the pushers and the traffickers, trying to keep the YNs away from the bandits. Don't eat the honey bun, don't drink the coke, don't become another victim or the butt of a joke. Don't close both eyes when you sleep or get choked. When you go to the mess hall, sit with your team, cause if you sit with some punk boy, you can get seen.
No, man, stop playing, man. Stop, man. Stop, man. Get off me, man. Stop. Shut your ass up. What up? We are back on my Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So let's get into it. Alright, now, this inmate that I'm gonna introduce to you today, this guy's name was Alabama Blue. He was a Crip from Alabama. Now, this took place in North Carolina. I'm not going to mention the prison, but this took place in North Carolina. And before y'all get in the comment box acting crazy, I'm just not mentioning the prison on this one because simply he had a lot of victims, some of which are still in there, some of which are home. And I don't want nobody that's home seeing this video and like, dang, he threw me under the bus, man. He threw me under the bus. Ain't nobody know about that, but people that was in there, look, it's going to get out one of these days. But I'm going to do y'all a solid, and I'm not going to name the prison. Alright? But this happened in North Carolina. Alabama Blue came into the prison, and it wouldn't be but a week before everybody knew who he was. This guy was loud, obnoxious, ghetto as hell. I mean, now we in North Carolina, and you know it's gutter down there, the dirty South. This guy came from the dirty, dirty South. I mean, Alabama, he told us some war stories that he been through out there, which I'm going to share with y'all. But just to give you an idea of who we dealing with, so let alone the fact that Alabama Blue is a Crip, he's in here for a big M1. Yeah, he done offed somebody and he meant to do it. So he got that 25 banger. There is a possibility of parole, but the way this guy gets down, sooner or later his actions will catch up to him, I'm sure. Mind you, Alabama Blue is still locked up to this day. Yes, Alabama Blue has already been up to parole at least 3 times in his bid already and been denied each time. Why, you might ask? Because he ain't programming, he ain't trying to better himself, he ain't doing nothing, no school, nothing. Half the time refused to work in the pod. So half of his time, he's back in lockup, serving dead time, stretching that bid even longer. Now, I know y'all might think, why would anybody with a parole date risk it? Come on now. You got 25 years to do. You not gonna fight. You not gonna steal. You not gonna cut up and spit at guards and talk crazy. Yeah, you gonna do all of the above. Because at one point, you kind of just give up. You don't care. At least that's my understanding of it. What I get from the lifers and the guys with those quarter centuries, you know, that's what I get from it. But everybody has their own reasoning to how they act in prison. Now, Alabama Blue made up his mind that he was just going to be belligerent. He was going to act a fool. He was going to be dangerous. He was going to press up on anybody that let him. Because he just didn't care, y'all. Now, where he came from, prior to being locked up with us, he had just got done doing a little bid, 5 years in a prison up in Louisiana or Alabama, whatever you want to call it. Alabama, yeah. And this guy said our prisons was for punks. He said, man, these prisons here, these ain't about shit. Y'all ain't on shit over here, man. He had a real deep southern accent. Every time this guy completed a sentence, or what he thought was a sentence, you heard this. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. That's all I got to say about that. And he said that repeatedly, over and over. It was like almost like a parrot. Anyway, y'all, this guy would get to explaining how dangerous the prisons were that he came from. How they'd end up starting riots and setting fires in the prison and getting in fights with guards and even go as far as stabbing guards and stabbing inmates every day. And it's going down. Y'all don't know what pressure is. He's like, man, who got the bangers up in here? Who got the bangers up in here? I need me a knife. Because I already know I'm going to have to try somebody up in here real soon. And they're like, all right, yeah, I'll take you to somebody to get one. He take him to somebody to get one. Now, he looking at this joint, Alabama, like, man, that ain't no knife. He brought him like a little, maybe 1.5 inch, 2-inch poker. Man, I need a sword, man. I need something at least like this big, man. Where the bone crusher's at? Y'all ain't got no weapons up in here? Man, this shit weak, man. This shit soft. How y'all handle business up in here? Alabama Blue just be going off, man. And it's supposedly he didn't care who he went off on. Other gang members, newbies, it didn't matter. He talked reckless to the guards. That's the type of timing Alabama Blue was on. So everybody thought and assumed, man, this guy a real deal. He tough as nails. We ain't had a joker come in there and demand that much respect in a long, long time. To where, yeah, everybody could jump him, humble him real quick. But the fact that he came in and demanded that much respect and looked like he was really ready to push that blade or fight for it, oh, nah, they weren't going to jump him. He could possibly be an asset. So let's see what his angle is. Let's let him rock. Let's let him rock until we can't let him rock no more. That's normally how it went when you had a guy like Alabama Blue come in the pod. So, gangs let him do his thing. The Crips that was in the pod let him do his thing. He knew who they was, associated with them, dapped them up and everything, but didn't even try and join their ranks. His reasoning behind that was he wasn't fitting to follow no Crips that was up in that jail living the way they was living. According to him, they wasn't living right. They wasn't cripping right. They should have had things on press. All these jokers up in here, he walking by cells and he see neutrons with big bags of commissary. He like, oh hell nah, man. Y'all ain't living right up in here. Ain't no way a neutron have a bag of commissary that big and I ain't take half of that shit. Y'all tripping up in here. I'm finna show y'all some work. Finna show y'all how we get down. Yeah. You don't know what was going on where I came from. Now, it's almost like a fairy tale. People is willing to listen to you talk some bullshit. But until you show people you really about all this stuff that you talking, ain't nobody really trying to pay you no mind. Like, it's a cool beat down, whatever. I hear you. You tough. I hear you. Alright. Do something to somebody then. Do something. Know what I mean? Like, he talking all this shit, right? Motherfucking Alabama Blue. Come on, gang. Alabama Blue. You could have came up with something better than that. He like, yeah, all right, man, watch. I'm finna show you. I'm finna show you how I turn up in here. I'm finna show you how I turn up in here. Now, when he said that, everybody was expecting some gangster shit to pop off over the next few days. Everybody was expecting him to really start turning up. And who he was going to start turning up on was unknown. But there was plenty of people in the pod that was, let's say, victims in the making. Yeah. That's those neutrons with those big bags of commissary that ain't paying nobody for protection. Yeah. They've been good for a long time because the gangs and the other monsters and demons been satisfied with the people they've been ripping off already. But now, you guys are on a new radar. You guys are on Alabama Blues radar. And, well, we just gotta stay tuned to see what happens to Alabama Blue after the next incident. So at this point, Alabama Blue is all types of pissed off. He feeling like the gangs in the pod testing his gangster. They not respecting him. They not taking him serious. And it's almost like, come on, dude, you came in here talking crazy, talking about the prison is soft and this and that. Dudes ain't cripping right and all this other jazz you was talking. Why would anybody respect you or take you serious? You're going to have to do exactly what you said. Make an example and show somebody you mean business. So, Alabama Blue, that's exactly what he did, y'all. Now, this is one method of testing people. It's a real quick, easy method. So, normally in the middle of the day, the whole day room is full of people, right? People huddled up, having conversations, or they might be standing by the microwave, waiting for their food, or by a water fountain, or whatever. It's people all over the place. Now, if you a bully, or a bandit, or just somebody looking for trouble, what you do, you're going to walk through that day room and you're going to find somebody to bump into, somebody that you want to try, and you're going to bump into them. You're going to check them hard, not just a quick, oh, sorry. Now you're going to walk by and damn near knock them over with your shoulder. Boom. And keep moving. Don't even turn back. Just keep walking. But walk slow enough to see if you hear a response. And if you don't hear a response, then that means you got one. Now, if you hear a response, now it's up to you if you feel like fighting or you're going to apologize and be like, oh, my bad. Because everybody know what that hard check is. Everybody know what that shoulder bump be like. So, ain't no confusing it. You walk by somebody and boom. Nah, hold on, homeboy. We got to talk. I might have to see you in the shower real quick. Let's go. Now, so supposedly that's what took place. Alabama Blue walked through that day room and he checked a couple of people. And he got a few responses and a few people didn't say nothing. Now, these 3 inmates that didn't say nothing, believe it or not, they were all in a gang, y'all. And ironically enough, they were in his gang. All 3 of them was Crips, y'all. And they ain't say a damn thing to him. Now, I don't know if it's because they heard of his rep or they knew he was supposed to be Big Crip and he was an OG over them or something. I don't know. Shit weird. But they ain't say a damn thing. Bumped them hard. Boom. Now, after that, he let shit go. He let shit go for a day or two. And then commissaries start coming in. Now, he start heading over to these dudes' pods and shaking them down. Hey, when your commissary come in, I need for you to look out for me, little homie. He told all three of them that. I need for you to look out for me. So when he meant look out for me, he meant I want half your bag. Whatever you bring in, I want half. Ain't no negotiations. So these three were scared to even say anything, supposedly. If they said something to, somebody else, it might have resulted in somebody getting unalived, or they don't know. They was young members, newly members of the gang. So they didn't know what to do, but they just followed what they thought was the OG shot caller giving them orders. I guess. I don't know, y'all. Get in the comment box. Let me know how that goes if you're a Crip or if you know some Crips. Do OG shot callers just give orders just like that? And, you got to follow them? Because these three young men were very unguided. And if there were rules that were supposed to be followed, I don't know if they were taught those rules yet or not. But the things that happen following these commissary shakedowns begin to be more and more diabolical. Word on the Blizzak was that these three Crips were getting brutally assaulted. Yep. They was getting their manhood took night after night on the low. And they ain't say nothing to nobody, not another gang member, not a CO, not a family member, nobody. They just kept taking it. And, well, all I can say is this. These three guys that I'm talking about, I knew them as Crips. And they was tough. Gangster tough. Well, let's say 3, maybe 4 months after Alabama Blue showed up in the prison, all three of these guys start playing for the other team. I mean, hair dye and all, y'all. Twanging the voice, switching the hips, tightening the clothes, all that. It got crazy to the point where I can't explain what happened to these guys before that. Before all of that came to pass, they got kicked out of the game, obviously, brutally. But once they healed up, that's what happened. They ended up, all three of them, getting turned out. And pretty much all three of them were Alabama Blues toys while he were in that prison. Did nobody touch neither one of them boys while Alabama Blue was in that prison. Because Alabama Blue said where he came from down in Alabama, that was a thing. You had to show your dominance. If you ain't have at least 3 boys, you wasn't doing shit. Y'all wasn't about shit. And that's what he meant when he said he gonna show y'all how to turn up. And he showed them all right. And everybody, pretty much backed off of Alabama. They ain't want no parts of him. Listen, you got it. You got it. You stay over there, we'll stay over here. We don't want no parts of your program. And that's just what it was. Alabama Blue brutally abused those 3 boys. And he was happy to admit it. You were talking about a demon, people. When they say demon time, Alabama Blue is exactly the definition of that. Because this guy, it didn't matter what day, what time it was. The word turn up is an understatement compared to him. This guy got busy. And I don't mean got busy and thought he was fighting. Nah, this dude would knock you out. One of the biggest booty bandits I've ever seen. And he just thought it was normal. He just thought taking cheeks was part of the game. What part of the game is that, homie? Nah, I ain't with it. Listen, y'all. Get in the comment box. Like, share, subscribe. Hype the video so somebody that needs to see this can hear it. Alright, y'all. With that, I'm going to get on up out of here. I am your boy, Jersey Street Corner. This is the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show. And,
I'm here to address that. When it comes to storytelling, I'm the best at. You a real hater, I'm here to address that. When it comes to storytelling, I'm the best at.